Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you had a good week in the stock market. It is Friday, July 16th. We're going to talk about the overall market, options, contracts, buying calls, buying puts, credit spreads, that sort of thing. Sub up, like up, comment down. Happy Money sticks around. Follow us on Twitter at Happy Money YT. We also have a Discord. You can follow us or get on the server rather. Right there. Okay. Yeah, so here we go. The SPY today is it's coming down. So nice little even trend down this time. As opposed to some of these other choppy times where we had big drops. This kind of drop here, I actually just saw a chart, and basically the SPY accumulative, it kind of topped out here. And then this whole run was all just the big FANG stocks pretty much that were pulling it up. So that chart was kind of interesting to see. But anyways, today's a pretty big red candle on the SPY, and the MACD is just barely crossing over. Depends on where we end up, where it closes. We got an hour to close, but yeah, it's looking bearish. We had some plays. I'll show some options. Actually, one I still need to get out of. It's a 432 put, so it's almost in the money, but the amount of premium I paid on it, it's actually, there we go. It's been waiting to just flush through that, and GME is going with it. Yes, GME moves with the SPY typically. Negative beta is, I think, weighted pretty heavily from the times when it inverses the SPY, which is when hedgies are covering or whatever's going on, where they're basically pulling capital out of the rest of the market to close some positions in GME. Let me show you these. Let me look at this. So here's our SPY 432. Yeah, it's just teetering. It's 1%. I'm fine to just close that out at break even. This might flush all the way down to 431.40 was what I was thinking was the floor on the SPY. If you look back here, that's a nice little support right here, 431.40. We'll see if it gets past that. We do still have an hour though. I guess I could hold these a little longer. Looking pretty weak. Pulling GME down with it too. If you watched yesterday's video, I talked about how we should expect a bounce, a little bounce at least, just because we were so oversold on the hourly chart here, as you saw, and we got that bounce a little bit yesterday, kind of flattened out, and then today was more the bounce. Got exciting for a bit, but it's you can't get too excited with GME. It needs volume. It needs to break out. This is literally just a consolidation, really. Same thing that happened back here just a couple days ago, but this one just exaggerated a little bit more because it dipped into further kind of oversold territory on the RSI. So here we kind of dipped in that oversold area, and it kind of bounced from that and then consolidated. And then at this point it can decide if it wants to reverse or not, and it didn't. It kept coming down. So I think we're doing the same thing here. It's going to consolidate here and probably get close to testing this low and kind of just do that, just consolidate, and then we'll see which direction. So I just zoomed out to the daily, and this is how you can really see a trend. You see, oh, it's a great day, 5%, 3%, but it's not breaking out of even past this 9 moving average. So when I was saying back here, I was like, as we stretch further and further, quicker velocity to the downside, it's going to want to bounce and just at least bring it back up to that 9 moving average, which is what we did today. This little doji up here got pretty close to it. So now it's back there. Now it can kind of keep coming down and consolidate, and that 145 I feel like still might get filled, especially with how the market's coming down and how GME will probably come down with it initially. With the market setting up for a crash or correction, initially I think GME will come down with it until the hedge funds are squeezed so much on their long positions that they have to, of course, cover their short positions then, which will make GME then really shine with its inverse beta and rocket while the market is down. Yeah, I'm just looking. Let's see, is this, so I'm looking at a little RSI divergence, see if I can see any in the 5-minute here. Nothing yet. It's still pretty weak. Once it hits 431.4 though, I think I'm gonna sell these SPY puts because they closed in less than an hour. But this is flushing pretty good. So yeah, on the daily, if you're just looking at technical now, it's like, oh, daily, this is all good setup. But then you've got to change your time frame. Look at on the hourly. You got to change your time frame. Look at the daily and see MACD is still bearish. RSI is pretty low down here. which is good. So that's why we're going to consolidate. This will come up a little bit, and then it'll decide if it wants to change direction and go up or continue on the downtrend. And depending on the rest of the market, we will see how that goes. But yeah, SPY is pretty red today. 431.40. So we are down today. Had a nice little bounce on GME, so some of the positions came up. Our put credit spread that expired today closed. They closed those super early on E-Trade because of margin requirements, so that closed out at like 1 o'clock. So I basically rolled it over by opening up another one. So it's down 44%. Screw you. No, it's not. This is spread. It says a 192.5, 195 put credit spread for next week. So basically, GME has to close above 195 for that to expire worthless. And this is the same credit basically that I lost from the last one. So that will just be covering my... Oh, there's a bounce. All right, I'm going to sell these puts. It could come down more, but I'm not trying to do anything crazy here. Let's see. Let us close. Still, yeah, it'll probably come down more, maybe, I'm not sure, but not much time left. So put credit spread, and then I did have all these calls for this for today. Not a huge exposure, just some from last week. These are all expire worthless, of course. Our shares were down 13 grand on these. Should have sold covered calls on them. Didn't. And I'll have to roll over these puts also. We've got seven puts that I sold. Oh, I already did. That's right. I rolled these over last week and put 2 weeks of time on them on accident. But that's fine. So what else did we do? Peloton, I closed out of the Peloton call credit spread for max, close to max gain on that. Closed out of that Microsoft put. I actually had a little loss on it. I should have closed it yesterday. It was up 100%. And then Microsoft had a little bounce. And now Microsoft's probably coming down. And I maybe could have... Not a whole lot, really. Microsoft's holding up pretty well. That's surprising with the market. Not too bad. Did the Microsoft close that one? Sold to close, just did that one. And then the GME, this was all the put credit spread. So it bought to cover 17 of the puts that I sold, and then it, yeah, and then it sold to close 17 that I sold. Wait, that I bought. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, closed out of that one. And yeah, today we're, you know, pretty red, I guess. JP Morgan. Why did that say -780? That's weird. I don't know. Today's net gain. That's just the spread on that. Okay, that's the spread on that. Doesn't make any sense. But yeah, we're down. I mean, we're down like 40 grand now on basically selling puts on GME right here, and it's just tanking, and I was too excited. Didn't use all the capital yet, so I still have some that I'm able to roll over. But for next week, I'm thinking GME consolidates a little bit in this range, and then we'll figure out what direction. It's probably going to set up something similar to this like we've seen. Hopefully it's not a whole nother week or two like we saw back here before we actually have a reversal. I'm thinking next week could be good. Today with all the failed delivers, the 500,000 on GME and the options, there comes SPY a little further. If those were married puts and they're not able to can kick and open up more puts for a later date, way out of the money, then potentially we will see them covering. So the options will have 2 days to cover. So it's 2 days for settlement on options. So that'll put us on Tuesday for GME, and that will be a very big green day if they have to start covering Monday, Tuesday. So that is hopeful. As far as TA, it's possible. I mean, today was a bit of consolidation mixed with yesterday. It looks like it'll need at least a couple days to kind of settle out a little bit before it reverses. So hard to know how that plays in with the failed delivers, but That's what I see there. And I'm trying to think what I did a lot of just watching today. I was excited. We had the volume, it was bumping up, and then it was like, nope, this is just, once we couldn't break that resistance, there was this kind of resistance right here, came up to it and just didn't. I was like, okay, just a little dead cat bounce to get this RSI back to more neutral. Doesn't like to be here or up here, so got back up to neutral. It's now happy. Now it can kind of trade sideways for a bit and figure out its direction. Our week this week, let's see, I can't really show this, I don't think. So annoying. Yeah, we're down on, I can show it like this. I actually need to roll this stuff over also. Here is our long term. So this is where real money is made and stays. So let's see. This is 7,700. We're down this week quite a bit. These are some covered calls I sold on Airbnb, Corsair, Rocket, and another one, I'm not sure. But I expect this will probably come down pretty good with the market correction I'm expecting. That's all I got for you guys. Not a whole lot. Sub up, like up, comment down. Happy money sticks around. We will see you next week. Have a good weekend. Chill out. You know, next week we might squeeze. It could happen. I don't know. TA is telling me we need a little more time to settle down before we ramp up. The gamma squeeze happening today, not happening. So it's all right. We're buying, we're holding, and it's forcing what would have been short-term traders into long-term wise investors. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace out.